Shidoshi Luis Nogueira, President of the European Buoy Society, and I am here in the Home Dojo in Valencia, Spain, on this free encounter because we are waiting for the representatives to come on this April 2014, and we have received several congratulations from our followers and many people concerning what is the article that the Buddha International magazine has published on this April concerning Mu Toyu. Mu Toyu, remember, Mu is from emptiness, from the empty, and Yu is from to unite, to integrate. Then Mu Toyu, it's the balance between what is empty and what is united. Then many people has asked about what is Mu Toyu and what these kind of Haragei explanations. Then let's go. The purpose for today is to answer these doubts, to answer these people following this stuff, and in order to explain a little more about Haragei. The first of all, it's to know that the legends talk about the ancient master explained 3,000 exercise completing what is all Haragei. But of course, this is a legend. No one could defend this position. No one could understand or know all these exercises. And by the way, the masters in the past century, in the 20th century, reduced the staff of Haragei exercises, the Kino Jutsu especially, to 120 exercises that the doctors, the medics, scientific people used to make the demonstration that these exercises really works. Is to say, they run away from the mysticism and put Haragei into a scientific point of view. And then from these 120 exercises of Kino Jutsu used to demonstrate that the body was warming up, or the energy was working by a Western point of view, not keeping the ancestors' vision, but a modern way, a modern scientific vision. But today, and the purpose of this video is to talk about the ancestors, to talk about the origins of this Haragei, is to say we are going to visit the roots, the very beginnings of Haragei. Remember that Haragei is the techniques and the use of the Hara, and the use of the energy, the body energy and the biological energy as a purpose of developing effects not only in ourselves but in our relation with the other. What's the purpose or the idea that we will be treating today? It's Shinropo. Shin, it's means to tremble, to shake, because it's like moving strong or making to vibrate something. This second kanji, that it's ro, it comes from the Japanese typical row, the oar, that in the Japanese boat they have in the backward side of the boat. And this points from the method. Then is the method to shake the row, because it comes from the Shizen. We are talking about Shizen, we are talking about anthropology. We are not talking about modern exercises. We are talking about the origins and the roots of Haragei. Then it's the way that the fishermen used to employ the boats, the oar, the row of the boats, in order to make a strong shake, in order to advance. Any of you that could be maybe interested, or you know about the marine techniques, you will know that making a strong or a fast movement on the row, or this kind of vibrating technique, will make that the boat will tag or will move easily or more violently than a regular move or a regular movement of this ore. Then from this, the Shizen, they understood that employing movements coming from the ground or coming from the upper side of the body, like the skies, will make a movement that will generate a strong effect on the opponent, or on this case on the row. Then for that question, we need to understand that the origins are these: the Shizen employing for fisherman skills these kind of techniques. But this will be applied for several techniques that this is the study today. This is Shinropo. Shinropo, as I have explained, is divided into two sides. Tenropo, this ten is from Amatsu, that it's the skies, and Chiropo, that this chi is from the earth, from the ground. Is to say, we have the energy coming from to the row by the skies or by the ground, by the earth. And the idea is when the energy is put on our hips, put on our lower limbs or legs, and this side, and we are moving, this will be a chiropo. And when the skies is falling to the upper side of the body, the upper limbs, mainly the shoulder and the humerus area, it will make it's a tenropo. Then the unity, making the amount of both, will make what is this kind of so interesting techniques. Then the first thing that we have to take a look is this is not for impress. Let's take a look. For example, Kata Morote Tekuitori. I will need that Oscar-san, that it's the Dojo Cho sensei from our school, he is a strong man and he will try to grab my body so strong that he could be so strong. Then of course, if I try to move my body, if I try to maybe go up with my shoulder in this way, it will be impossible, because he is grabbing so strong, so heavy, and it's impossible to move from here. What we need to feel is to go down my weight to make an stable position, making the hips to be completely stable and replaced. Right here, my hand turns backward and this way, or the centerward on this position, and right now I have this control right now on his body. What I need to do is to flow the energy that is right block here, and this is Haragei. My hara moves, and here I have here. If I make the movement on the tenropo, or maybe a false tenropo, is to say, if I try to do like that, it will be bad, it will be fake. This is a fraud. This is not Haragei. This is maybe a well-intentioned student, or maybe a weak partner. But the idea is to be so hard, all his weight, trying to grab and me being incapable to take out. Then in this way, moving, and right now, moving to this side. As I have explained, the purpose is not to impress. This is not for show. This is only to understand, because it will be applied in several things. I explained other technique. This was when the energy is going to the ground, but we will try to make a backward energy that the master used to explain as fuha, because it's the mixture between the fu, that is the wind, and ha, that comes from nami, it's a wave of air, but it will take a spiral movement. When he is trying to grab in this way, I will do right now in different from doing before, as I have explained, but we will do is to make a spiral movement right here. And when we are in that way, what we will do, having this control, my hara is completely, my hips are in the right position, what I will do is not trying to push him, not trying to go over him, only put the right position up, moving forward. One more time, when he is coming, making this a movement that it will be elegant, it could be smart, in order to make the other go away. These techniques were so, they were very interesting, and in the past many sumo practitioners were interested in them, and maybe, or not maybe, sorry, but also many judo practitioners on the 20th century were also interested, because the master used to do the following thing on this spiral technique. Only grabbing the cloth here, and right now only making a twist movement, like making the spiral, as we have explained, and from here having the energy, moving only the hara in order to take away from them. Then of course it seems from grabbing techniques, grabbing skills, very, very particular. The idea here is to apply, this is a broad study. This is not only something that you could only learn by this video. This is something that you need to have the master, to be explained, to be taught on all these skills, on all this stuff. But my idea, my purpose today is to show you not only these two techniques, but show you several ways to apply, several ways that you know and you could identify when you watch a video if it's real Haragei or not, and if this is regarding or concerning this Shinropo. Then, for example, this is, for example, Aiki Jujutsu. We are going to explain, or we are going to be related with the idea explained on the last article, this April 2014 article on Buddha International Mutoyu. For example, when he is trying to grab my Morotite Kubitori, we have the mu making the empty here, and right now we have here the concept of the U. We are uniting with the enemy. One more time, 1, 2, and when we have this control right here on this position, we could do the idea that we have explained on Shinropo, having the control. But remember, we could do it in several points. For example, here and moving to the side. One explanation that the master used to do is when you have, or the Shizen have to defend against several opponents, several enemies around, and you have to cover my back. For example, Oscar-san will try to grab here, and maybe it's because other enemy is drawing a sword in front of myself or my right side and trying to kill me by cutting or employing this weapon against myself. Then in order to protect, what I will do is not to stay in this position. But right now, when here I look himself, and from here, a very typical way, it's the U here, and I pass to the side. Right here, what I will do, I will tense only my position in order for a better vision on the camera. I will look for this stable position. I need to be with my weight well balanced, and right now I will employ the same idea, the same skills that I have been explaining before. Remember, it's not a purpose of trying to push with my hands. If I try to do in this position something like that, it won't result, it won't work. It's strong. We have to have the control, and right here, we have to move. These techniques are very trained. The ancient used to go in winter in the lakes, on the rivers, and try to employ this exercise under the water, because this was a way to go up the 10 Roppo, and from here moving back or moving downward, moving to different sides. This for us in our exercises, it's very well explained. For example, in what it's the koku dosa, that is the exercises both of us in the ground. For example, taking from one hand here, okay. Right now we have here. It's very important not to use the shoulder here. This is a typical mistake performed by the students. This is not well. From here we have, and from here the same idea. Going to the ground. One more time. Or, sorry, to the other side. For example, we could do it Mai morote ke kubitori. For example, the same. Here we have the control, and right now both hands here. For example, if we have here this control, hara is going forward, and right now we could make down to the ground, or for example, here we have this control and only moving the hara and making the force forward. Then from all these sequences, we have an idea in all of them. It's the employment of the hara as the ancient techniques, the ancient methods that not many people has learned about this ancient Haragei. Remember, this is called Shinropo. I hope this video has solved many of the doubts or has made a deeper vision of what is Haragei methods, Haragei exercises, and put you in the right perspective of what is an ancient method, an ancient tradition, always perceived, always developed by the scientific vision and a pragmatic vision, not by a mystic or mystifying perspective, only by a pragmatic and what it really works and what really not. I have performed this video, these sequences, with Oscar-san, that he is really trying to grab me strong. He's really, with his weight, making an opposition force to my desires. And of course, we have to take special care on being pragmatic, on being realistic, on the employment of what is hara, of what is key. Then I hope you have liked, you have enjoyed, you have discovered more perspective, and keep us following, please. I hope you enjoy with our channel. Thank you very much.